Hey YouTube, Peterbilt Knife Guy. Today we're going to be looking at a Lothar product. This is a company I have not heard much about, but I was watching some videos of Gruggs at Legion Tactical Cutlery. He's going to beat me if I ruin that name, but he made these things look awesome, and it made me really want to take a look at it. But in full disclosure, this was offered to me by Lothar. They asked me if I was interested. I looked up the knives. I seen that Gruggs did it. I picked this one because it's a beast. Let's get into this. The box, just your standard box, nothing special. Lothar Survival Fixed Blade Knife. This is the BAT model though. It's called the BAT, B-A-T. But what got me was, this thing's a freaking tank. I've already opened it up. I took a look at it. We have a Kydex sheath that's kind of made to look like, what do they call it? Carbon fiber, but it's not carbon fiber. It's just Kydex. That's just an imprinted thing on there. But it is well executed. We have this kind of tech lock deal on here. I don't think it's an actual tech lock, but it's very similar. Clicks in, you slide this over so you can't unlock it. Slide it back, push up. I actually like this better than the squeeze tech locks because this is more like of a one-handed thing than squeezing two sides. But we'll see. Comes with a ferro rod, which is kind of cool, but I wish the ferro, it's a very thick ferro rod for the price of this knife, which is right there. But it doesn't have any kind of end on it. I wish it had an end on it. And it comes with a striker too, which is cool. So you don't have to use your knife, but this is the striker it comes with in the box. Now, I'm assuming this is a cap lifter or a bottle opener, but I have no clue what this is. If anybody knows what that is, let me know in the comments what that's used for. But yeah, for scraping ferro rod, this thing, it works great, even in my shed. You get some literature with it too. It's just your warranty and stuff like that. Nobody really cares about that. And then you get this sweet little microfiber cloth, which I like these things. They are great, especially if you're doing YouTube and you have to clean your camera lenses off all the time. These things are awesome. But let's get into this knife. Get this stuff out of the way. So what we have here is a 5-inch blade, full flat grind with G10 handle scales, and it is well executed. We have holes here. You have different points where you could either put a lanyard, or I don't know, you can lash this to a spear or something. I did take these handles apart to see if it was skeletonized, because this thing is freaking heavy. It weighs a lot, and it's still kind of, it's still kind of ass heavy. It balances right where that front finger is going to be. So I guess it's pretty balanced, but it's skeletonized underneath it. So you can see, yeah, it's skeletonized. That is excellent. If this thing wasn't skeletonized, it'd be so butt heavy. We have a 0.2 inch thick stock on here. That is 1/5 of an inch. On a 5-inch knife, where are we at here? Yeah, it's just actually a hair over. It is 5 inches of cutting. Right there. 5 inches of cutting surface. So it's actually a little longer if you go back to the guard right here. But this thing's a freaking tank. The screws they use are actually really cool too when I took this thing apart. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I am very, very impressed with this thing, and I'm not impressed with a lot of things. If you could tell from my recent videos, I do like D2 steel, and I like thick slabs of knives. Speaking of that, let's take a look at that tip. That is a nice, robust tip. Let's get another knife to compare it with. Let's compare it to the SE6. Now the SE6 is a bigger knife because it's a 6-inch blade, but look at the thickness on this. This thing is thicker than the SE6. It's a frickin' moose. Frickin' moose. For a 5-inch knife, that is a robust little piece right there. And the reason I liked it too is it almost reminds me of an SE6. There's some very similarities. The blade shape, full flat grinds, G10 handle scales, kind of way You got a little finger swell right here, and then it just kind of swoops back. It just reminded me of an SE6 or an SE4, actually. No, more the SE6. But yeah, that thing is, I'm very curious about this, and we're going to be doing some hard use tests on this. I want to see how this D2 holds up compared to 1095 or 1075. Let's take a look at another knife next to it. This is the famous on my channel Benchmade 119, and let's look at that. This is also some really thick stock. They are the same, 0.2 inches thick. Now, if you're looking on the camera, you're saying that's thin. No, it's because of the way it's ground. This thing has a tang, so just like this guy, this tang protrudes higher than the scales. This one also does protrude higher from the scales, but it's radiused off, and it's just super comfortable. You just can't even tell. I am digging this thing. I really am, and I cannot wait to hard use test this. But anyways, that's the initial review. Here's your Kydex sheath again. This is going to be a fun one. Stay tuned, because we're going to do a hard use test on it. Thanks for watching.